Hello and thanks for stopping by. This is Bomberman 94 for the PC Engine, and I'm playing this game on a Core Graphics mini console. It seems to play great on the system, although, honestly, I have nothing to compare this one to. Now, I'm willing to admit that I'm getting to the Bomberman train late. Really late. Over 100 games late, apparently, across multiple systems, consoles, PCs, handhelds, and phones. I've never played a Bomberman game ever. I mean, I knew of them. They were certainly there, but until I started looking at the games that are actually on this Core Graphics mini console, I never really considered playing them. Overall, I imagine I'm not the target audience for this type of a game. It's a clever puzzler, and it's probably catered to younger audiences, I think, or at least for an audience that wants a simple game with just some fundamental challenges. Nothing too drastic. So for this one, I don't read or speak Japanese, mind you, but the game visually explains what's going on, and I think there's enough to understand what's happening. For some reason, the world splits into 5 pieces. It's represented by a disc. That's basically 5 stages you have to play, and when you go into each one of these stages, you have to complete whatever levels are in the stage. I think there's 4 for each. When you do this, you get pieces of this shard, and you just put it all back together. Easy enough. So this is a maze game, basically, and you play the character Bomberman, apparently. He's this little guy with the helmet. You press the 1 button to drop a bomb, and then you have to run away from it. After a few seconds, the bomb explodes. Bombs have a blast zone, which is basically perpendicular to the bomb. It's always going to blow in these straight lines. Some blocks are destructible, and others are not, so you can drop a bomb and hide behind a regular solid block, and you'll be safe from the explosion. This is the most basic mechanic of the game, and it's not that hard to understand once you've dropped a couple of bombs. Also, you need to make sure that you let the explosion complete before you try to walk over the explosion area. If you rush, you're going to find yourself running into the explosion and dying. To advance through the room you're in, you need to blow up these spheres. They're these little pedestals with these little, I think they're green orbs in the top. If you see the top, look at the top left of the screen, you're going to see markers for the number of spheres you have to destroy. Just use your bombs and blow up all the enemies you need to and all the destructible blocks to make yourself a path through to the spheres. Then you just destroy them. Drop 1 bomb that does it. As you destroy blocks that break, you're going to start to find upgrades. These are just small things, but they really help if you get them. If you die, you lose them, so using save states on a console like the one I'm using, they're amazing for a game like this. It's such a time saver. Now these little upgrades, they do help the mechanics, and they help a lot. They're useful. When you start the game, you can only have 1 bomb active at a time on the playfield. When it blows up, you can then drop another. If you get the right upgrade, you can have 2 bombs active on the playing field at once, or maybe 3 or more. You can also get upgrades so your bombs aren't on an automatic timer. You can drop them with the 1 button, and then you can press the 2 button to blow them up manually. You can also find an egg. Every now and again you find this large egg. And when you grab the egg, you get this little dinosaur runs into play. And he's kind of like this steed that you ride. It's kind of like Mario riding Yoshi. That's pretty much what it is. Now, when you get it, you'll run around with this thing and you can jump upwards or even over single blocks. You can use this to avoid explosions or just make your way through the maze differently. Having this to ride is actually pretty nice, but you still have to pay attention and adjust to the game and the zone you're in. Like I said, with save states, it's not that hard to keep upgrades and keep your progression moving forward. This is one of those games where you kind of need to be patient and you really need to sort of pay attention to everything that's happening on screen at once. There are going to be some things that are up close to you right away that you have to run around. There are things that might sneak up on you if you're not paying attention a few areas out. Overall, this is a simple enough game, but it's fun enough to play. It's not what I would call a brainless game, but it's definitely not a difficult game. It amps up a little bit in difficulty as it goes, but whether you're playing the first zone or the 4th zone, the mechanics are the same, and the same basics always apply. Maybe they're just a slightly different style to the area. I think I was most surprised to get through the first couple of levels and find that there was actually a boss level involved. I didn't think there was going to be anything to this game but mazes. Honestly, I thought it was going to be the same thing the whole way through, but instead, we have these distinct boss levels. And that's kind of nice. I mean, the boss levels are just a standard size. That's actually a little easier than the basic levels, I think. Some of the levels, not all, but some of the levels go multiple screens, and you have to go from little area to area. When it's a boss level, it's just one block. It's one screen size. The first boss I ran into, this little monkey drops from the ceiling, and he's followed by a giant banana monster. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure I'm not the target audience for this one, and that's okay. The different stages also have different themes to them, which is great. You go from like an underground area, there's an underwater area, there's a castle kind of horror zone, Halloween-y type of thing, then there's an ice level. It's a decent variety, same mechanics, but they changed the background, that's nice. The music is fun, it's happy video game fare, and the colors are striking and vibrant like all the games I've played on this system so far. I think it's a decent enough little puzzler. I mean, it's not difficult. It's nothing crazy. I see this as being a bit more of a lazy, relaxing type of game. Maybe if you wanted to zone out a little bit, and something without a lot of emotion involved. Well, that's all I have today for Bomberman 94 for the PC Engine, or Core Graphics, or TurboGrafx, whatever you're playing it on, I guess. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you on another video.